is a light comic book canon on Comic Book Canon. That's right. We're doing a light show tonight. There's a lot going on in Chris's world, my world, and in the world in general. So listen, you can be mad at us all you want. You can ask for your money back, but we will not pay you back because you have not paid us. There has been no payment received, therefore no payment returned. Moving on, though, I'd like to welcome my good friend and co-host to the show, Christopher, broadcasting live from a closet.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I'm here. It's been good. You know, many of you guys know, last week we got hit for a rude awakening. We pushed on for a show. I didn't do a video all week long on my channel. I wasn't even knowing if I was going to do a show tonight here with Jeff on the Canon. I didn't know if I was going to do a live show on my channel. I did the Friday Night Live on my channel, and it was refreshing, to be back with you guys. So glad I'm here. Like Jeff said, we're kind of cutting corners here, but we're still going to have a good show.
Yeah, don't hold it against us. By the way, Michelle, please, she says, hey, Jeff and Chris. Hey, Chad, I'm driving, but we'll be listening in. Cheers. You could just watch it on the replay. Come on. Don't be driving and YouTubing or whatever that is, but be careful either way. We'll see you soon. All right. So again, this is going to be a light show, but let's not breeze through a few things that happened this week. One being, we saw an amazing Eternals trailer. Did you see that, Chris?
I did.
Dude, the grace, the beauty of all that I saw in those images, I am super excited. What are your feelings?
Same. I'm enjoying the aesthetic in the feel of it. Like you said, I remember going back and talking about the costumes too, and how they're going to translate these types of characters into live action, and the grounded realism that Marvel Studios has done so well over the last 23 years now. And the more and more we get out of these trailers, the more I'm like, they just know how to do it, right? The look and the feel is great. I'm really excited for Paperboy. You know who Paperboy is? The actor from Atlanta.
Oh, hell yeah!
Paperboy in that show.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm really, I'm just. It's hard sometimes. You see characters in certain roles, and you're like, I can't see him out of that role.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how he's going to pull this off. I think he's going to do a great job.
I agree. I think it's a great ensemble. Like, the cast is awesome. They're all over the place. So super excited about that. And another thing we want to mention real quick is it's been confirmed by comicbook.com, an exclusive. We have to explain what exclusive means to people, by the way. Kevin Feige told Comic.com exclusively that Riri Williams will appear in Black Panther 2 for the first time in the MCU. So that's super exciting. We all know that Ironheart will have her own series coming up on MCU or Disney Plus. Chris, I'm excited about this character making the big screen. Wondering if there's going to be any Iron Man ties, but maybe it's going to be just straight up Wakanda technology. Who knows? What do you think, Chris?
I think you make a good point. And look, I think this actually, I know a lot of people are fickle. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be at times, when they're like, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. Ashley just kind of had a live show about that. In this situation, though, it could really work to switch that up, because I think not only will it uphold Robert Downey Jr.'s legacy, not as Tony Stark, not only will it uphold the idea that Tom Holland's Peter Parker was the underling to the mentor, because how are they going to bring Riri and how is she going to be? I thought Peter Parker Spider-Man was being set up to be the next Tony and all this, and and then you think about, and it's still heartbreaking to think about, almost 1 year later, with the loss of Chadwick, maybe this is a way that they carry on his legacy, and not to say that she's going to be the next Black Panther. I don't think there's no question in my mind. That's not, somebody's going to take up the Black Panther mantle. but this could be a way that it does, in a sense, carry on the Wakandan legacy. And I don't know, and look, there's so many creative things that they can do.
Yeah.
As we saw, like Killmonger was a Wakandan descendant. Maybe Riri is kind of like a flip of that coin and continues that dialogue of that disconnect that existed from the West African slave trade, that the disconnect between the African and the African American. And I think that's why we connected so much with Killmonger, because it's like he was so narcissistic and the megalomania that drove him, but yet he had such raw reasoning behind his frustrations and his anger for being left behind and not understanding this disconnect. I am your people. Maybe we get Riri that kind of continues that theme to connect to. I don't know. There's so much things that can happen here, and I think whatever changes they make are going to be good ones.
Yeah, I agree. They are shooting at MIT, and I do believe in the comic book she did go to MIT at the age of 15. But one fact here, Riri Books got a bump from that announcement. Heck yeah! Oh, Riri FOMO is gonna go nuts. Look, guys, I'm calling it right now. Our top 10 list next week, or actually Cover Price's top 10 list next week. Riri Books will be dominating. I'm just throwing it out there. Anyways, all right. So as we said, again, this is going to be a lighter show. We're just going to do Fresh from the Comic Shop. We're just going to do our top 10. There will be no news. That was a brief news, and there will be no interview. So we're just going to get right into it, right, Chris? Because this next segment, what's it called? We do it all the time, Chris. This is our spiel. Let's go. What's it called?
Well, I'm technically fresh from a closet in a hotel bathroom, but we're still managing to be fresh from the comic shop.
That is right. We are going to hit you with Fresh from the Comic Shop. Live from the pressing salon. This is where you guys all give us your fresh gets each and every week. You post them on Instagram. You tag us, FFTCS. That's right, hashtag FFTCS. But you can also tag us at Comic Book Canon. Do both of those. We will not see it if it's not tagged with hashtag with FFTCS. And give us your fresh gets. They could be 30 decades old. They could be 3 days old. But as long as they're fresh in your collection, show them to us. We'll pick one of those. You guys sometimes give us a slew of your brand new gets. We love seeing them, but we can only pick one for the show. At the end of the show, we will pick a semifinalist to go up against who won last week? Super Rad Comics, I think it was. With that, Amazing Spider-Man 315, Hydra Man with the hydrant in the background. Brilliant shot. Loved it. So, guys, we're just going to get right into it. How about it, Chris, huh? No, but before we do, actually, we got to let you guys know, this is sponsored by Whatnot. And each and every week, you guys ask us, well, what is Whatnot? Whatnot? Whatnot is this. Whatnot is, it combines the safe buying platform of eBay with a video component of Twitch. The mission is to bring together collectors and enthusiasts to safely buy, sell, and connect. Guys, this interface is amazing. Like, Chris and I are not bullshitting you. We do not push products we do not believe in. Right here, though, this is eBay on steroids. You're doing a live auction with all of the interface, all the tools that you have at your disposal with eBay to be able to safely bid, to be able to safely buy, and to be able to safely sell. Now, Whatnot sponsors this segment each and every week, and you can win a slab, a fresh CGC slab. Before we tell you what slab that is, we're going to tell you how to sign up. You must be signed up with Whatnot. The link is below in the description, but we'll just put it up right here, right, Chris? Let's just go for it. You must follow Comic Book Canon on the Whatnot app. It's just at Comic Book Canon. Post a pic of your fresh get on Instagram, as I explained before. Tag us at Comic Book Canon and use that hashtag FFTCS. That's right there. And you will be entered to your submission will be entered to potentially win and move on for this brilliant slab. It's brilliant. Chris, you tracked this one down. It is gorgeous. It is a 9.6 CGC slab of X-Men. Number 4, first appearance of Omega Red. That is a hot book. So guys, you got 2 more weeks to enter here. We are going to pick a semifinalist. On Monday, we'll have them go head-to-head with last week's semifinalist, and we'll have a finalist by Tuesday. Let's just get into it, Chris. I've done a lot of talking. Everybody's like, just get this shit going already. Okay, I will. We got Into Oblivion first. That's right, Into Oblivion with this Flash 1/28, the first appearance and origin of Abracadabra. There's also the origin of Flash's mask, which I don't know that story, but I'm definitely interested in knowing that. Once again, guys, Flash 1/28. Chris, I forgot to mention what we're looking for our submissions. We want a presentation, a great, nice, composed shot, right? We want a unique book, right? It could be the cover. It could be an issue that we've seen issues from the 40s that have moved on, right? But just a unique book that many of us may not know about or have seen. And also, give us something with a story, something that's close to your heart. We have some amazing stories about these books, and actually Into Oblivion had a great story how he shared the first appearance of Reverse Flash with his son, and he moved on to become a finalist, I believe. Did not win that SLAB, I guess, from last month or the month before, but he did become a finalist. Anyways, that's what we're looking for here. Here we go. House of L comic. We got, what do we got? Oh, we got the mail call now. My Rogue collection is complete. He has that Marvel Superheroes Fall Special. I cannot remember how it's tied to Rogue. Chris, do you remember?
I sure do.
Give us a scoop right now, because I cannot.
Basically, it's her origin story that was originally supposed to be published in the Miss Marvel Volume 1 run from the 70s. I believe the run ended around issue 24. It could be give or take a couple issues, and I think they were supposed to run for 2 more issues, and it was supposed to tell the story of how she took Carol Danvers' powers and became the Rogue that we know her to be.
And there we go, House of L comic. He also has that sweet Spider-Man #1, and I believe that's a Venom Patrick Gleason cover right there. Nice stuff. Hard Knocks collectibles. What do you got? Fun day. I've been collecting comics off and on since 1978, and this is my first new comic book day. Yo, guys, that was a stellar new comic book day. I hope you guys all took advantage in your local comic shops, hooked you up, and you hooked them up in return as well. That is it. We saw some pretty good issues right there. We got Marvel Man 616. Here we go. Marvel Age 97 preview of Darkhawk. Time to retire, as he says. I'm not sure about that, but it is quite interesting. It's a preview of Darkhawk, so I guess technically it's his first appearance. He's an interesting character, Chris. We can get into that a little bit later. We got Disney Family Collectibles. Trip to Walmart got me some fire. Chase Funkoverse and some nonstop Spider-Man ratio variants. Alex Ross goodness. It's a good time to be a collector, guys. These Walmart packs are surprising a lot of people because there are some ratios in there that like 1 in 100 ratios people have been finding and posting about recently. So get out to your Walmart, see if they got those comic books, and see if you can get lucky with some decent pickups there. We got next up Captain Steve Rogers for Wit. This was my pickup from Wednesday, but was too tired to post Atlanta. He was in Atlanta traffic. Looking forward to reading all of these and have already started with Cinnamon, and it was a fun story. Those are some nice pickups, great books. There's that Fantastic Four Real Life. The Spider-Man Real Life by Chip Zdarsky was awesome. I have not read this yet, but I'll wait for it to get on the Marvel app. Moving on, we got Wise Guy Collectibles. This book is going to be a gem, especially if it makes it to TV. This is the Department of Truth #1 secret variant. Guys, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you've seen HBO Chernobyl, HBO Max. Chernobyl was an excellent series. That is the production company that has picked up the rights to Department of Truth. And if it makes it, if they start shooting this, I mean, these books are going to shoot up. But I have full faith that the people who produced Chernobyl will do an excellent job on this Department of Truth. It's good. I am super psyched, and I hope it does happen. Chris, I'm not sure if you have any opinions on that. Did you see Chernobyl?
No, I know you were talking about it before too.
Outstanding, outstanding. It's scary as fuck because it was real life, and how worse Chernobyl could have been. It's already destroyed a whole part of, Russia, but man, it's incredible, and it's a true story, but it's also kind of like a horror story at times. It's insane. Anyways, all right, moving on. We got Comic Noob. What did Comic Noob say here? I had a blast yesterday with my little one and the wife visiting 2 of our local comic shops near the house, and of course, had to spend some money grabbing some back issues. Yo, Comic Noob, you had a nice haul. I see 2 enter this House of Slaughters there, the free comic day versions. Those are hot for a minute and could heat up again. I see Stray Dogs back there as well. I see some nice, amazing Spider-Mans. Good stuff. Chris, I want to see what your first fresh get of the week was. Why don't you?
All right.
By the way, before you do, it's either Strange Tales or some Thor shit that you're just completing the right. Go ahead.
Well, it's interesting because I haven't ordered any comic books in over a week, or purchased any comic books in almost 2 weeks now. 2 weeks? Almost. So I ordered a few. I purchased a few before I left my home, exodus from my home. And I've been going to my home every day just to, if I have an outside cat that I need to feed, and I need to pick up my email. I need to pick up my mail. So I was able to pick these up, sitting on my porch. I saved them for today. This one is a big one. It is Dracula Lives number 10 magazine. And this holds the first solo story of Lilith. So some horror goodness. A couple weeks back, I did a video about top Marvel horror books. This wasn't on it, but it just had me like, in a horror, vibe. And I was like, I need to pick up a horror book. So this was a good one to pick up. I do believe there is some spec value. If we see vampires and we see Dracula, we're definitely going to see Lilith. That's just my humble opinion. But yeah.
Hey, Chris. Oh, hello. Hello. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that book, you aren't eligible, by the way. Chris and I are not eligible to win. But that book right there would fall under the unique category. Am I right?
Yeah, heck yeah. Why not?
Beautiful, beautiful book. That's a great book.
I love that cover too. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice stuff. Always, again, man, you crush it each and every week. I don't, but no big deal. I don't have a complex about that. Anyway, moving on. We got 360 Comics. Shout out to Philly.
Oh.
Move over, early X-Men, Spider-Man, and
Wow.
Daredevil. My collection has a new oldest book. I picked up this beautiful 1963 issue of Tales of Suspense today as part of my effort to expand my Silver Age keys. Not only is this a key, but a sacred triple key. He gives shout out to Comic Tom by saying, I hope Comic Tom doesn't have the copyright on this term, triple key. Gotta love that old Iron Man suit. You got Pepper Potts, Happy Hogan. I do believe the villain there is first appearance as well. Jack Frost, he didn't really make it that far. I don't believe. I could be wrong. I don't know. All right, D, Core Collectibles. Jesus, you got to be kidding me here. On Free Comic Book Day 2021 because more about taking advantage of the local comic shops, awesome deals and sales. Thanks, AMKM Comics. Guys, he had 3 or 4 additional pictures here with that many books. I don't even know what's in there, but that's a nice haul if he's happy. I'll tell you what. Good friend of the show, Comic Ozzy. It's a big Moon Knight mail call day. Multiples rolling in multiple Monday. Moon Knight, store exclusive art by Alex Garner.
I love some Alex Garner.
Dude, that cover is outstanding. I mean, there were so many covers for Moon Knight #1, and few that stick out. This one sticks out. Comic Ozzy, congratulations on that. That is a beautiful, beautiful cover. All right, moving on. We got Shadow Rat, Warlock, and the Infinity Watch #1.
He wins.
DGC 9.6 and the Funko Pop Adam Warlock. Marvel 80 years at Walgreens exclusive. I did not know that, by the way. Ordered the special edition also, but has not arrived yet. No, wait, what? Oh, I guess there's another Funko Pop he ordered. Chris. I mean, it's Watlock himself.
It is. And
Hold on.
another thank you to you, Jeff, because you surprised me with the birthday gift with that Walgreens exclusive Warlock Funko Pop. So unfortunately, it's not in my hotel room. I was able to secure that in my house before it went full containment zone.
Listen, you deserve it because you are the biggest Watlock fan we know. Moving on, wasabi. I had wasabi tonight. I had sushi.
Ooh, oh man, I'm jealous.
It's a true story, guys. True story. All right, moving on. We got Sicilian Comics. By the way, he changed his name, guys. It's not Sicilian Comics 1998. It's Sicilian Comics. And with that, I mean, Jesus, you gotta be kidding. Fantastic Four 49, first full and cover appearance at Galactus, and second appearance. We know. You're just showing off at this point, Sicilian. Goodness gracious, man. Good pickup right there. I'm sure you got that as part of Free Comic Book Day. Am I right? No, I'm not right. MCats 910. I was very happy to see Dynamite coming out with a Kiss book, one of my favorite bands. There's been a lot of other media with Kiss. There's like a show in the 70s. There's been a ton of comic books. Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff. I mean, well deserved. They're one of the best rock bands of all time. I'm not a diehard fan by any means, but they definitely made an impact right there on the world of music. All right, speaking of impacts, my first book is going to change the world. That's not true, but I picked this one up. I was happy to do it. It was the last one on the shelf. Everybody was talking so much about this book, Spider-Woman number 14. The first appearance of Rose Roche, who is a cohort with Spider-Woman's brother. I cannot remember his full name. He becomes he has a bit of a transformation though, and it's a nice. It was a good read, good art. But I love the covers on these Spider-Woman runs. Fantastic. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. But I know a lot of people are specking hard after this one. I think the heat is going to die down, to be honest. TBH, as the kids say. All right, moving on, we got Comic Toby 420. Iron Man 282 just came into the shop. And whatnot, the new comic book business supports small businesses, please. We agree with that. Support small businesses. Yeah, so you can see the Iron Man down there in the bottom in the middle. Nice little setup right there. All right. 08089 Lions. That's Surge for those who don't know. Nice. The Silver Surfer. Wait, hold on. The Silver Surfer I got from a comic shop in Berkeley, Michigan in a second, but I got the Spider-Man 113 on eBay. Both great pickups. By the way, Vinny Whitlock is coming up. He has a 5.5 of this Silver Surfer. But we didn't go with that one. I just want to shout that out too. But nice stuff, Serge. Nice stuff indeed. Carcom US. Marvel Team Up, Volume 1, number 74. Spider-Man teams up with the crew from SNL. Yes, he does. Yeah. This is for unique. Guys, this is definitely unique. I've seen and heard about this book. I've never seen this book in the wild. This is absolutely a unique book. I mean, once Saturday Night Live launched, people thought that it would be a failure, but it was an instant success and put all of these guys on the map. And you got Jim Belushi up front and center with his character right there. So this is absolutely a unique book, and it's something that I'm going to have to strongly consider, Chris, for moving on to the semifinal battle. That's all I'll say. All right, good friend of the show, Dan De La Torre, Flash 142nd, second appearance of Reverse Flash. My buddy Sean got it for me when he was working in Vermont. He knows I'm a comic fan, brought it home. I paid $24 for it. That's nice. Not a bad deal. And here's the thing with Dan, he's not a huge DC fan, but he knows a good comic book when it's right there in front of his face. So good stuff. $24 seems a little bit less than what it should be going for. All right, Chris, your second fresh get of the week. What do you got?
All right. So with this pick, I feel like I wish we would have did the top 10 first. But this book did make the top 10. You guys are going to see that in a moment. A nice Bronze
It
Age
made the
good.
top 10?
Huh?
It made the top 10, you said?
It made the top 10. Moon
Oh, there
Knight,
you go.
number 13. The first meeting and battle between Daredevil and Moon Knight. Here's the interesting thing I'll tell you guys. I did a Daredevil video a couple weeks back too, and I brought this one up, and I didn't own it. So after I did the video, I was like, you know what? I might want to go and try to look for that one myself. I mean, hey, I do that. Sometimes I take my own advice. And yeah, I found one. It's not, in perfect condition, but it's this book, decently affordable if you can find them. And, everything Moon Knight has been decently hot, but, no confirmations or anything. I'm still hopeful that Charlie Cox is going to return. Is he going to show up in the Spider-Man movie? Can he show up in a Disney Plus show? Like maybe Moon Knight. I mean, I think that would be freaking awesome. So you never know if it happens.
I think that's a great book, and I think you're putting it mildly. Moon Knight books are heating up, and if that's any indication as we get closer to the release of the series, or even a release date, they have not hit the ceiling or come anywhere close to that. But that's a nice book to pick up. A lot of people are going after first meetings of characters, and the most recent example is Ironheart #9, where Shuri and Riri meet for the first time. That blew up yesterday because of this announcement. So I would be surprised if that was not on the top 10 list next month or next week. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Who did we just do? We did okay. Vinny Whitlock. Vinny Whitlock. Vinny Whitlock, by the way, is always doing Silver Age. This surprised me. New Avengers 7, first appearance of the Illuminati, CGC 9.6, best $70 spent so far on books. Oh, and it's Neil Adams art. It's a 1 in 10 variant. Love the team, story, and grade. Awesome. Like, he's seriously throwing some crazy Silver Age books our way all the time. And again, this is a modern, and I'm surprised he has it, but that's a nice looking book right there. Cover Junkie Comics. What'd you guys expect? Doom. Of course. Cover Junkie Comics, fresh from the comic shop with 2 more Doom covers. Supervillain Team Up 10 and 11. No fancy story, no fancy displays, just Doom. Comic book canon. Tell whomever is the guest host that I'm sick of losing and that Doom is and will always be the greatest comic book character. Listen, we appreciate your enthusiasm. Chris and I are the judges tonight, and we will be making decisions, so don't be mad at us either way. Tommy Boy Collections. Every week, so creative. Lowriders and Comics. Homies issue 1, a comic I never grabbed when it came out. Just got it signed by actor, Rivas Reverse, who was in the movie Blood In, Blood Out. Tres puntos like Spider. Going to send it to get graded and keep this in my collection. I mean, look at the rims, look at the book, and honestly, that's presentation, okay? Good example of presentation. All right. My second fresh get of the week. Here we go. This is in my opinion, this is a classic book. I was surprised to find it for $3. But it is the first true appearance of Weapon X. Marvel Comics presents number 77. $3.
Nice.
I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna pick this thing up. I do believe I got this. This wasn't on sale either, but I did get a free comic book day. Very happy to have this in my collection. Barry Windsor Smith. Chris, you as an artist, one word. One word to describe Barry Windsor Smith. Go.
Oh my goodness. Timeless.
No.
No.
He is timeless.
I say timeless because he had a style that I think revolutionized the time that he was working in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That is still very, very relevant today.
It's just, I'm asking you this question and I can't answer it myself, so that's not fair. But like you see a Barry Windsor Smith piece of work, you're like Barry Windsor Smith. You see a Mike Mignola piece of work, you're like Mike Mignola. So I got.
It's very gritty. I will say that he has a grittiness to him that makes him stand out as well. And you know what? We talk about depth of field. Is he bringing it to life? I mean, in all of his work too. I mean, and you got to think about, like, when you talk about depth in art, like, so much of that now is I don't want to say easily created, but you could do that very well with the Photoshop computer graphics that they do.
You see a lot
to
like,
create it with you know, just the standard pen and pencils and right, like something like that. So yeah, I mean, there's many ways that we can describe his work, man. It's just
I don't know how this was created, but I do feel like there were some effects put in with the computer.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't take away how beautiful this cover is. I said how great it was, but when you're talking depth of field, you could see things just fall out of focus, like right in this area right here. And I think that, I don't know. As an artist, I don't know how easy that is to do. But anyways, moving on. Here we go. Who do we got? Nerds being geeks, guys.
Oh, nice.
I mean, this is a contender here too, in my opinion. Batman 89, #1. I'm still waiting for this, guys. I can't wait for this to come in the mail for me. Written by Sam Hamm. He's the original screenwriter for the 89 movie, with art by Joe Quinones. I was incredibly excited for this book. Michael Keaton is my Batman. Here I have the book with my childhood VHS copy of Batman. I can't believe it survived all these years. Guys, I was the same way. I freaking, oh my God, every day when I got back from school, I would watch this on VHS and look at that. I mean, it takes me back. I'm super excited. But guys, that's perfect example of presentation right there. Well done, Nerds Being Geeks. In my opinion, you're a contender. Chris isn't showing his cards at all. Next up, this is a cool one. Son of Comics. Something is Killing the Turtles by Austin LeMay. This is a freaking awesome. That's a great cover swipe of Something is Killing the Children, but it's a Turtles book. Really, it's just excellent. Absolutely excellent. All right, next up, Demented Corey. He's got this. All he put in here was Kingpin, War Machine, Hobgoblin, Department of Truth, Gamora, Lock and Key. So I guess I do see the first appearance of Squirrel Girl. I do see a Lock and Key. I see a Warlock there, Chris. Is that an ASM 50?
Yeah, it is.
Department of Truth #1.
There's first appearance of Gamora in the Strange Tales with Warlock.
Yeah.
Kingpin, Hobgoblin, first and second appearance.
Good stuff, man. Demented Corey. Good stuff. All right, next up, we got Nori Jordan. Another week gone by, and I learned this, guys, this cracks me up. Another week has gone by, and I learned a life lesson. When you drink enough beer in an attempt to make the New Mutants movie interesting, you receive comics in the mail a few days later. Clearly, Magic left an impression on me and my credit card. I'm so proud to display my Journals t-shirt, which Chris went out of his way to autograph for me. I'm grateful for all he does to help myself and the community. I'm grateful too. And I'm grateful for you, Nori Jordan, for that story, because that is hilarious. I still have not seen New Mutants, but the fact that you just got obliterated and started ordering Magic books, excellent. Chris, did you see New Mutants?
I enjoyed it. I was impressed. I was like, okay, you know, I thought it was going to be horrible, and I was decently entertained.
By the way, Dan De La Torre, former he's an alumnus and also former judge, says that's some nice presentation. I have to agree. All right, moving on here. Moving on, we have Chris, your third fresh get of the week. What do you got?
Well, you know, I picked up this book. It's a book that I've been like having my radar on for a very long time, probably a couple years. And somebody spoiled it that submitted for Fresh from the Comic Shop. And I'm like, how dare you? I forget who it was. I'm like, this is supposed to, like, this is a scarce book. And I know scarce and rare is thrown out probably way too much these days. And I'm like, no, it's not. But this one really is. There's not very many on the market at once. It definitely commands a little bit of money. And this guy, I think it was a guy, he had it. I'm like, dude, you stole my shine. I was lucky to find this. I think I bought it on eBay. Usually eBay sellers grade their books way too high. You have like pages falling off and they're like, it's very fine, right? This one I thought was graded very conservatively. I think he called it a fine plus. I believe it's at least a very fine minus. There was a best of the asking price was solid, but there was a best offer. I offered under it, and we came to an agreement under the asking price, and that's Marvel Superheroes.
Oh, look at that.
Marvel Superheroes, the Origin of Rogue. Yeah.
By the way,
who was it that submitted this book?
It was Jesus. Now I have to go searching for it. Oh, it's House of L, I think. House of L.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty tough, guys. I had no idea. Chris and I never share our books before the show, and it worked out well. Where Chris gave the whole rundown when we showed House of L's submission.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's fantastic. That's a nice pickup. I'm glad you got that.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Moving on. We got Miguel.g.comics. 1 week of vacation, and this is what I got from the mail. First appearance of Typhoid Mary. Honestly, man, all right, growing up, I was not in, by the way, that's a newsstand, good stuff.
Yeah.
I was not into John Romita Jr.'s art. I am now. Chris is an artist. I'm not sure how you feel about that, but
I like his older stuff.
You do. You like his older stuff that looks more like his father's, right?
Yep.
All right. That's a nice pickup, Miguel. Moving on, we got Heroes Reborn. Hawkeye #9, second print, very tough book to find without problems. $25 find in an 11-book Hawkeye lot. That's great. That's always great when these things pop up. You're like, oh shit, look at this. So good stuff. Good on you. Heroes Reborn. We got the Comics Criminal, Creepy Worlds 133, an Alan Class reprint of Avengers #6. First appearance of Baron Zemo from the early 70s. Nice condition. With Avengers 6 being out of my price range, this is the next best thing. Yeah, man, those reprints are becoming collectibles themselves. People are not overlooking those anymore. All right, we got Peter versus Comics Galactus is coming one day, and maybe he brings some heralds other than the Surfer. Frankie Ray as the second Nova. Took some advice from Journo's video and snatched up a pretty high-grade copy, again, from Canada Comic Books. This is my entry for Fresh from the Comics House for Comic Book Canon tonight. Great John Byrne art and writing. Shout out to John Byrne. He is a Canadian as well. I just love his work. And Chris, I love this book.
I think I've been talking about that book for a long time now. Long time.
Yep. Let's hope. Let's hope we see like Galactus in the MCU with a bunch of his his peeps.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All right. Super Crispy.comics. I hope I'm not too late. You are not too late, but this is my pick for Fresh from the Comic Shop. This one came from a curated box I got from the Silverback Graphics. I'm digging the What If show, and I think it would be dope if they put a spin on this one. Happy Fridays. What if Punisher killed Spider-Man? I have to say, first off, usually the cutoff time for Fresh from the Comic Shop is Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Keep that in mind, everybody. As Chris and my schedule fluctuates, which it does each and every week, that may be earlier, that may be later. So again, and it may change too. It's been hard to keep up with this, but we love this segment. But that is a great book. That's definitely a lot of people would like to see that adaptation. All right, we got Caution Comics coming up here. This week's books, fresh from the comic shop, looked in the back issue bins and found the books Chris mentioned weeks ago. $20 for both Fantastic Four 272 and 273 and that nice Scotty Young Kang. Dang. Chris, you have a lot of influence on a lot of people. Yep, it's true. And finishing up our audience's submission is Azorius Tiger. Shout out to my guy, T. Ravis Comics. My box of books from his last sale came through, and this was one of them, Marvel Team Up. Kang! Everybody loves them some Kang. All right, guys. My last get from this week it was in the mail. This is a variant. I'm trying to stay away from variants, guys. I really am. But y'all know Gru the Wanderer, created by Sergio Arenas. Very unique, just kind of style, also comedic, almost comic book strip. He did a Masters of the Universe Revelation. This is the comic book that takes place before the Netflix show. He did a cover for them, and it is just, it's just awesome.
Nice.
Sergio Aranis. That is just some fun stuff. TFAW exclusive. I had to get it. I love me some He-Man. Back in the day, I absolutely did. I saw one episode of the show. I thought it was interesting. I'm going to try and watch each and every one. But Chris, Fresh from the Comic Shop is not over yet. You and I have a decision to make, and I hate the two of us have a decision to make because if we don't agree, we got problems.
I got my notes here.
Okay, I have two contenders.
I know who I'm going with.
All right.
Hey,
I know who I'm going with too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to private chat it real quick?
Yeah.
You just want to say it?
No, it's private chat.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, no way. No way. No way. Are you
Hell
serious?
yes. Yep.
All right, here we go. Here's our here is our winner. Nerds Being Geeks with the best presentation. Not only is the presentation there, it's a heartwarming story because he has a VHS as well, and how it's his Batman.
Yep.
Well done, Nerds Being Geeks.
Let me tell you.
What's that, Chris?
I still have my VHS tape for that. I remember the Christmas. It must have been Christmas of '89. After the movie came out, and by the time it hit Christmas, it was on cassette. VHS. I received that VHS as a Christmas present. I remember that Christmas opening it up and watching it again that Christmas morning. I'd already seen it, but I'm loving it, man. I mean, the toy, you got the VHS there, and look at the love. I mean, you could tell that VHS is battered, and the case is just battered and worn and ripped up, and it's just. Yep. I'm very nostalgic. I have nostalgia looking at this myself. So, absolutely.
So, congratulations, Nerds Being Geeks. You will go up against Super Rad Comics Monday, and we'll have a finalist from that on Tuesday. But Chris, before we move on to our next segment, I need you to explain how people can enter Fresh from the Comic Shop.
First, you got to blow a lot of money and go buy some comic books. I'm just kidding. You can raise your 50-cent bins and still submit and have a chance of winning. But make sure you get some fresh gets. Take a picture. Remember all the things that we look for: presentation, story behind it, uniqueness of the comic. Post it on your Instagram. Hashtag FFTCS. Don't forget the hashtag, and then tag us at Comic Book Canon. And boom, there you go. That's all you need to do.
But also, make sure you are signed up to Whatnot.
Oh my gosh. I forgot. I need to be. You know what?
It's a long week for everybody.
It's been a crazy week.
These
I forgot. That's what you need to do to enter your submission.
Yeah.
But if you want to have a chance to win a CGC SLAB sponsored by Whatnot, oh, good grief. Go check out the link below to whatnot.com. Download the Whatnot app. Set up your account. Once you do, you have to find us and follow us on Whatnot at Comic Book Canon. It's just really easy, folks. It really is. So that's what you need to do in order to have a chance to win. And once you do that and you go and you submit, your Instagram post with the hashtag and the tag, you are good to go.
Yep, absolutely. You will be good to go. By the way, forgot to also mention your first purchase on Whatnot through this link right here, you'll get $3 off. So it is definitely worth your while. All right, moving on though. This is another favorite segment, Chris. And we're only doing 2 segments tonight. Fresh from the Comic Shop. But this other segment right here is the top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of cover prices data. That's right, cover price. They deal with data. They release a list, a top 10 list of the highest selling comic books of the week. That list is released on Monday. Our live show is on a Friday. we like to take that list, tell you guys what it is, and Chris likes to dissect that list and give you his 3 most interesting picks of that list. Now, Cover Price does not sponsor us, but we do use Cover Price as a tool. It's a fantastic tool, in my opinion, and something you guys should all have in your toolbox, as well as other apps and sites and all that good stuff. But we're just going to get into it right now and get into the top 10 hottest comics of the week, because I like this list. Chris, do you like this list?
Yeah, I did. I absolutely did.
All right, here we go. Top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of Cover Price data. At number 10, we have Stray Dogs. Number 1, Free Comic Book Day issue. I think one of our peeps had a couple of those. Number 9, we have Superman. Number 4, first appearance of Bloodsport. Number 8, Spider-Man Unlimited, the first appearance of Shriek. At number 7, we got The Nice House on the Lake. Guys, this does not leave the list. It's always on the list. I'm not complaining. Crazy. I'm just saying. At number 6, we have Moon Knight 13. We have a few people talking about that in our previous segment, Fresh from the Comic Shop. At number 5, Exiles. Number 3, all the love from the first episode of What If. This is first Peggy Carter. It's Captain America / Captain Carter. At number 4, we have Nocterra. Number 1, a lot of rumors going on with that Scott Snyder series. Number 3, we have Batman Urban Legends. Number 6, the Ijikure variant. Number 2, we have Batman Urban Legends. Number 6, the Nakledo variant. And at number 1, we got Batman Urban Legends. Number 6, cover A. Now, Chris, this is the time that you ask me, why are you yelling?
Why are you yelling? Am I really supposed to ask you?
No, I'm just, is the drama too thick? Be honest with me in front of everybody. Okay.
Well, I'm choking. You're yelling.
Down.
I'm choking.
Now, here, I'll tell you.
This is too much.
Chris.
Okay.
Now, let me finish my sentence, Chris.
Go ahead.
Now is the time for you to go over your top 3. See, I took it back, right? It was too much.
Okay. I might start choking again, though.
All right, what do you got?
Again, big shout out to it's going to be in the Guinness Book World Records, Nice House on the Lake. Remember, I finally picked it for one of my top 3 last week just because I had to give it some propers. Didn't pick it again this week. You know, what more can I say?
I mean, you've been picking it every week. It gets old.
I know, right? I would just run out of stuff to say. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what it's doing. And then how about that 3 for the 3, 2, 1s? But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. So, okay, folks. My 3rd pick of the week was the Moon Knight 13. Look. You don't even gotta.
I don't have to bring it up.
I got one. You don't even gotta. I mean, you can bring it up on screen too.
It looks prettier on screen. You got too much glare.
It sure does. Look at that. So, Moon Knight. As we talked about in the Fresh from the Comic Shop segment, everything Moon Knight is hot right now. I talked about this book in my Daredevil video a couple weeks ago, saying with all the rumor in fan demand, it rhymes, but we fans are really demanding Charlie Cox's return. Mm-hmm. There's been the rumor of he's going to be Spider-Man's attorney in No Way Home, or we could show up in a Disney Plus series, and he absolutely could possibly show up in a Moon Knight. That would work. I would love to see Charlie Cox face off with Oscar Isaacs or something like that. But the bottom line is, for me, I would absolutely love to see this character come back. This book is a very affordable book that I think has a large potential of growth if indeed these 2 characters meet up in the MCU one way or the other. Jeff, you had mentioned in Fresh from the Comic Shop segment about the first meetings. You talked about the first Riri and Shuri. This is another thing, and I've talked about this for a long time now too. We, with the instantaneous information, with the ability for us as collectors to attain information, we are finding more value in more books because it excites us to know it's not just that first appearance or that number 1 of a new run. It's when do these characters first meet up, or there's so much out there. The origin books are becoming bigger and bigger. So this is another one that I just think has a lot of potential. But regardless, it's a solid book from a solid run, from a Bronze Age run that I love. So looking at these numbers, a 202% increase in sales over the last week, a 9.6 CGC high, sold for $89. So that's very, very affordable. I think like about a week and a half ago, prior to this high, and I saw one that's a 9.6 sold for 80, and then the 89. I think one sold for like 60 something. So you can tell it's gaining a little bit of traction. But check this out. We did have a high raw that sold for $66. And there was another one that sold for $65. Both of them were on eBay listed as like near mint. So, again, for a early 80s Bronze Age book, it's going to be more or harder to find those types of high grades. They're probably really thinking, I'm going to spend a little more money to get this book where I'll get it press and clean and maybe get a 9.8 from CGC or something. I don't know. I don't have that. I wish for this one I would have calculated the average raw sale. I did in my video. If you guys go look at my video that I did 2 weeks ago, you can see what it was in 2 weeks, but we know the market changes. Now that this book made the top 10 list, there's obviously going to be more eyes to it. But again, I mean, a 9.6 selling for, under $100, I think that's solid. We'll see if there might be any 9.8s coming back from CGC anytime soon with this book getting a little steam going.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I still, even though Daredevil had a series, right, with 3 seasons on Netflix, I don't think he's gotten his due yet, right? I think he's still a character on the rise. And Moon Knight has kind of a cult following, but with the MCU backing Moon Knight, I mean, his potential hasn't even. I mean, it's not even close. So the two of these guys are characters that still have a ton of room for growth, because once they're out there, let's just hope that the rumors are true that Daredevil is in Spider-Man No Way Home, and Charlie Cox makes his way back into the MCU and is a recurring character in these series. Let's just hope, and because it's exciting to see these types of characters starting to get recognition, because it's well-deserved. All right, Chris, moving on. Your second most interesting pick from this list. What do you got?
All right. This was I was excited to see this book because it's kind of a new frontier relating to Marvel Studios, and that is Exiles #3 from 2018. First appearance of Peggy Carter as Captain America, as we saw her in the What If episode, Captain Carter. Whatever, she's still Captain Carter technically in this because that's her name. But it is a version of Captain America, whereas in the What If, she's technically like a Captain Britain because she holds the shield that reflects, Britain instead of the standard Cap shield that you see here. Regardless, I think what fans are doing right now is those are small differentials, and we got our first taste of Marvel Studios animated, and I think it's already blowing people out of the water. I haven't seen the second episode yet. I'm hoping to watch it tonight. It's going to break my heart. But that first episode was awesome. I thought it had a very good feel to it. I think the episodes are going to just keep getting better, by the way. But it had a certain that kind of Disney vibe to it, which was cool. But it still had a unique vibe to it, and it was still very much Marvel. Marvel Studios and what we know and love from them. So it doesn't surprise me that this book has got hot and made the list. Looking at these numbers, it had a 114% increase in sales over the last week. CGC 9.8 selling for $525. High sale, unbelievable. Again, I don't flaunt these books as these are huge books that are going to continue to increase in value or whatever. It's not always the case, but I don't know what this book is going to do in the future. I don't know if this book in a 9.8 will hold that type of value. But what I do know is that we, again, are clinging to everything that Marvel Studios does. And we come back to the comics. Now, whether or not people want to argue, oh, it's just flippers going back and buying the books or whatever, they don't even care. They're just trying to get rich and they're going to be let down when they don't hold value or not. Again, yes, there's always going to be those type of people. There's always going to be people that make uneducated purchases. There might be some people that get disappointed in what they buy. They lose money if a value drops. But the bottom line is that I'm sorry. I'm going to stand and say this through all my research and me understanding the industry. The majority of people that hop on these books, all right, they are just so engulfed in the characters once they see them on the screen. And now we're doing it for animated Marvel Studios. People are in love with Marvel Studios. It's huge. It's unfathomable, man. And I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon.
It's not slowing down, and there's something out there from one of the producers, and I cannot remember who said it, but these characters could cross over to the big screen. These animated characters could cross over to the big screen,
or even just live action in some form.
Yes, so we could see a Peggy Carter in the Marvel universe, like on screen, a live action burger. What the hell? A live action version of Captain Carter, Captain Britain, whatever you want to call her. So it's exciting stuff. It really is. They're already crossing over into toys too. You're gonna have toys versions of. I mean, why would Disney not do that? They know how to work it. So, anyways, that's exciting to see. But before we get to your first pick from this list. Mark Lineker, the burger was friggin'. Thank you. I do want to point out here, somebody made a call on what, and I think we should start doing this. You guys, the audience, should start doing this on what Chris will make his first pick. We only have Miguel.G.Comics making a call. Chris is going to pick Nocturna as number 1. Let's just see real quick if anybody else has nope, nobody else is going out on their own. All right, so Chris.
Nobody, huh?
What's that?
Come on, man. That's no fun because I like this. I like letting them try to pick and tell me what they
Yeah, well, we only got Miguel.G.Comics. That's it. So
Miguel gets a cookie.
He gets a cookie. Superman.
Who said Superman?
Yes.
Okay, cookie.
Now,
who else wants a cookie?
Can you confirm or deny either of those? Hold on. Wait, yes. You already had it. You already had a choice. You said Superman. Can't do that. Sorry, we're taking Superman.
Wait,
but Marvelman 616 says Exiles. But wait, he just had that as his second pick. Come on, guys.
What are you guys smoking?
We only got two entries. Maybe we'll have a contest for this too. All right, here we go. So Chris, make somebody's day. Make somebody's day here and let them know what you're picking at number.
I will say this, like, you guys pretty much, I'm sorry, guys. I can't sugarcoat this. You guys suck. Every time we've done this, I don't know if anyone has picked the right book. I can't remember what, but
choices at this point. So
I know. I love you guys. I'm just messing with you guys. I'm just being tough on you guys. But no, nobody picked the right book. The Noctura, Bleeding Cool saying, "Hey guys, look out for this book." I mean, that's cool, but it wasn't enough for me to pick it. Look, my number 1 is a book that is causing a lot of controversy. Ironically, I just did a whole Friday Night Live show talking about it. It held the 3, 2, and 1 spots. Triple action here with all the variants, including the cover A. Batman, Urban Legends, number 6. Look, folks, I don't want to spend another hour talking about this book like I did in my Friday Night Live show. If you want that version, if you want that hour spiel, go check out the rewind of my Friday Night Live show. Here's the thing. Anytime a book has something that happened in this book, and for those that don't know, it was revealed without saying so that Tim Drake is bisexual. You know, it was an interest of him and another character, and he asked him out on a date and to be continued. So already you get all the negative backlash, and the thing that really kind of just yanked my chain is you get people, especially content creators, that have a responsibility because they know that viewers sometimes hold on to everything they say and run with it and regurgitate it. I know some viewers do that with the stuff I say and do. And that's why I make sure that the stuff that I say, not that I'm perfect or I'm always right or anything, but I understand my responsibility and I proceed with caution. And I do my due diligence, speak truth to fact, and I make sure my opinion is well-rounded and well-researched. And when you come out and say something like this, him being bisexual, it's lazy writing. And then you admit that you don't even read the book. You haven't even read it, but you're talking about the writing. I probably lost about 40 subscribers over the last week just because I called that out. And I'm not even talking about him being bi. I said in my show, it's like, I don't care if they announced and revealed that Tim Drake had 6 toes. Like, don't sit here and tell me that giving Tim Drake 6 toes is lazy writing if you haven't read the story. Don't tell me that when Spider-Man gets a new suit, if you're Stevie Wonder and you're blind, and somebody tells you that, oh, Spider-Man has a new suit. Oh, that suit's ugly. What were they thinking? You don't know what it looked like. I don't care if you don't like the fact that Tim Drake is now bi, as long as you read the story and you can provide a solidified argument to why you have that opinion. All right? So I'm not going to continue on with that because I do believe that folks that make uneducated opinions and that talk about a story being forced or being lazy when they themselves are the epitome of lazy because they haven't even picked up the book. The bottom line is that people are buying this book, whether you like it or not. I think these people that don't read it and have these opinions, they're regurgitating a yes man ideology that gets circled around. And that's it. There's no base. It's baseless, right? Look at this book, though. Oh, look. This book had a $103 high raw sale. Oh, well, they just do this stuff to sensationalize and to pander and virtue signal. I don't know if many people even know what those words and terms mean. I think they just hear other YouTubers saying it, and then they repeat it because they think that's the thing to do, right? Well, the thing is this, everything that comic book writers do and editors do and publishers do is to sell comics. When they kill off a character for the 29,000th time, it's to make money and sell comics. Whenever they give Spider-Man a new suit, no matter how ugly some of us think it is, it's to sell comics. Anytime, they bring back a character that they've killed off, it's to sell comics. Anytime they do a clone saga for the 2700th time, it's to sell comics. Maybe they said, oh, well, let's make this character bisexual. Maybe it'll help us sell comics. Hey, the only time you're mad about it, though, is when it has to do with these things that might make you uncomfortable. I don't know. I've lost subscribers over it. I don't know. I don't care. But here's the thing. You have not been mad when comic books did all these other crazy things to sell comics. Only when it's these issues. Or so it seems. And then you use the excuse that it's lazy writing because nobody was buying these comics. I'll tell you this. A speculator or a true speculator or flipper did not buy this comic for $103. I'll tell you that right now. The speculator and the flipper was buying multiple copies off the shelf for cover price. The speculator and the flipper may have been buying some comics off of eBay for maybe the $10 to $15 to $20 mark when it started to get some traction, when people started talking about this book. A speculator and flipper did not pay $103 for this book. A fan did. Regardless if it holds value, regardless of whatever reason, the bottom line is that person that sold that bought that book for $103, I can tell you with everything in my heart and soul, they didn't buy that book because they hated the fact that Tim Drake's not bisexual, or that they thought it was pandering, or that they thought it was because it was to sell comics. They bought it because they wanted to. And maybe they bought it because it spoke to them. And so I'll finish with this number one pick on this note. You can have an opinion on anything. This isn't political. It isn't one way or the other. Like I said, I don't care. If you truly think that Tim Drake being bi is a negative thing, and all I care about is that you can solidify your argument. And if you blame it on the writing, but haven't read the story, I can't get with you, buddy. I can't do it. Like I said on my live show, it's like Siskel and Ebert sitting there critiquing a movie saying that movie had bad writing. Have you seen it yet? No, I ain't seen it yet. Well, how do you know how the writing was? They don't. So don't twist what I'm saying here and go unsubscribe because I'm a liberal snowflake woke SJW. Again, I don't care if you hate that he's bi. I don't care if you dislike it. I don't care if you dislike if he had 6 toes or 2 toes, if that's what they changed. Have a substantiated reason to why you believe that, and maybe I'll listen to you. But until then, this book is hot. People are buying it, and not every book is going to be for everyone. There are hundreds of books released every week. There are thousands of books released every month. And there are millions of books out there that continue to get released. Not everyone has to speak to you. If you ain't into it, then you could say, I'll pass, and you could go buy that new Moon Knight book or Noctura book or whatever the case may be. But 3, 2, and 1 slots, DC's doing something right because they're laughing all the way to the bank.
That's a fact. Here's the deal. We talk about this all the time. Representation matters. This matters to somebody who sees themselves in Tim Drake, right? I think that's great. I think it's great. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't look any different to this character who is aligned with Batman and is the Batman family. Now, speaking as purely kind of like putting your speculation, I don't think this is a good buy at all. And I think once this dies down, if this book means something to you, I think you're better off waiting for this to die down, and you're not going to pay $103 for it in 2-3 weeks from now. So just keep that in mind. I'm glad they're evolving Tim Drake to represent people in this world. Again, now I haven't read it, so I can't say. But if it's a shitty story, then I'm gonna shit on it. I think this is crappy, right? Yep. But if it's a good story, I as long as it's a good story, I'm fine with this revelation of who this character is. And I think, Chris, you feel the same way.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. I don't even want to get into it anymore. But I said in my show, I will say here, I'm not going to hold back. It's like, I understand. You and I, Jeff, we both talked about how you can't have people trying to pull a, look, I'm a decent human being card and say, I'm gonna throw some representation out there just because I want my cool card, right? For your brownie points. You can't have a middle-aged male, writing about women's rights. It's like, get people in there that have experienced, even if it's a co-writer, or somebody that has had that experience in real life and give them an opportunity to write about it, talk about it, do the art. Get LGBTQ writers in to tell stories for LGBT folks out there, because those people are out there in the world. Get these Black writers to tell stories of what it's like growing up Black in America, or maybe you get an African character to tell a story about an actual individual that grew up in a nation in Africa, and you tell that story. And comic books, even in their fiction, always need to, or they always reflect, they're grounded in real life. Any good fiction is grounded in nonfiction, to be quite honest. So do that. So me and you both, we're not sitting here completely we're not blind on some political beliefs or some certain types of beliefs that aren't going to sit and say that, yeah, maybe people do these things and it's not genuine, but you can't even make that opinion on something if you don't read the book or read the story or understand what's going on. So it's just ironic that anytime it's about race, gender, or sexuality, you get the same regurgitated rhetoric. And I'm telling you, it's sensationalized keywords, that trigger words that I don't even think half of these. I'm not saying all these people are bad people that say these things, but it's reactionary behavior. You're not putting any thought or critical discussion behind it. You don't have an opinion, and I always say this: opinions are opinions, right? But a good opinion is based on data, facts, and evidence. Because an opinion that water isn't wet isn't an opinion at all. It's bullshit. Water's wet, whether you want to believe it or not, And that's what I said. I use the example of writing a research paper. You present an argument in your introduction. You say, comics have done this, this, and that in the representation of LGBT, whatever. I believe this, though, to be a detriment to the LGBT due to lazy writing. That's your thesis statement. And then you have to validate your opinion. You have to validate your argument. Well, how do you validate that? By saying it's woke nonsense or it's just SJWs. Those are trigger terms that you just heard somebody else saying in a YouTube video. That's not solidifying your argument. So you go into your first paragraph and you bring in facts, and then you speak your argument to those facts to back up your claim. And that's how somebody that might not agree with you, that might not be educated on the subject, can sit there and say, okay, now I still might not agree with you fully, but I see where you're coming from, because at least you substantiated your argument to make me ponder your opinion and say, not a bad argument, right? That doesn't happen. Again, like I said in my live show about this book earlier, I lost so many subscribers over the last few days simply because it wasn't even about the sexuality or the gender or anything like that. It's about stop having an opinion on things that you have no right having an opinion on because you haven't picked up the book. Don't tell me a story is lazy writing when you haven't read the writing. Don't tell me that a movie has bad acting if you haven't watched the actors act the movie. Don't tell me that a movie has a bad screenplay if you ain't read the screenplay or watched the film. That's all it boils down to. And if you can't grasp that and you're still mad at me saying that, then maybe it's not about the comic books in the first place. Maybe it's about you being defensive of some type of bias, even though maybe those biases might be subconscious. I don't know. That's on you. But I'm all about having open discussions. I'm all about understanding people's different perspectives and why some people may say, oh, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to engage in that discussion, you better come with one, humility and the ability to listen to others and respect. But lastly, like I said, educate yourself. Make your opinion matter. Don't just regurgitate nonsense to where you're just throwing out these baseless, this baseless rhetoric that just, it gets nobody nowhere.
100%. It's just infuriating when people themselves are lazy and just don't educate themselves. So that right there wraps up our top 10 hottest comics of the week. We'll have a brand new list next week, probably with a bunch of reread, Chris. Are we going out on a limb by saying that?
Nope. I'm with you on it.
Not at all. It's going to be an interesting one. All right, yeah, we will be back again with a brand new list next week. All right, guys, so that there is our light show. It's a shorter version of our normal show. Chris and I had a really, kind of hectic week for many reasons, and but we definitely wanted to be here with you guys because you guys are always here for us, and this is honestly, this is a nice distraction from some things that go on in our lives, and we hope that we bring entertainment and value to your lives as well. We'll be back again next week. We're still trying to put together a show. We're not sure what we're going to do because, again, it's been really kind of busy but we will get back to a normal comic book canon in the next week or two. Chris, any parting words before we leave?
I just want to say that I appreciate you guys here. We go through life and hard weeks, and we come here and we still find solace and the ability to hang out with this community. I also want to say, because we kind of dove into that, me picking that book there in the top 10. I said this to my folks in my chat on my live stream. I appreciate all you guys being with us and being able to watch the show when sometimes, usually with comic books, our arguments are very, like, oh, that movie, was better than this movie, or, it's very, it's fun, or, these things can get deep and can get heated. And I just want to say I appreciate everyone, even if we don't agree fully. Just let's continue to respect each other. And my attempt, and what I'm trying to do for everyone here, is to continue to educate you guys on how to be critical thinkers and how to be able to have opinions, to have your own opinions, and to think for yourselves, but to do it in a way that solidifies your voice while being respectful and humble to other people. And that's what matters at the end of the day. So I hope, I'm going to leave the show hoping that that's what you all could take out of that topic of discussion. So, and that's all I got.
Perfect way to end this episode. Again, guys, we will see you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific on Comic Book Canon. Y'all be good to yourselves and have a great week. Peace.